Hi there everyone, it's Carol here. Okay, where to start with this video? Okay, so I've made the journal, this one here, with the hidden spine. And I've been showing how to make this, and I've actually included my, I've lined the inside covers of the book as well, so that's now done, and I've got all my pages in place. This is going to be my Royal Journal about Queen Elizabeth, because it's her Platinum Jubilee. And this video is not going to appeal to everyone, so if it's not going to be your cup of tea, it maybe has no relevance to you whatsoever, then please just close the video down and go and move on to a different video. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to be showing different embellishments that I'm going to be making for this, which can be used in other types of journals. It doesn't just have to be a royal journal. But I wanted to think through, and some of you may find this helpful, I wanted to think through about how I wanted this journal to be, because it's about a specific person. Now, you could just go through and just go and add all the pictures and pockets that you really like. I want to make it into a historical book. So for the historical boffins amongst you, you might find this helpful of how I'm actually going to approach this. Okay, so I have the digital kits. So there's the two that I was selling on the pop-up shop of the Royal Portrait and the Royal Journal digital kit, which has got a variety of different pictures and elements in. If you purchase the kit, there was all the bits and pieces that I included with that. I then have a ton of books all about Lizzie and the family, and about her coronation. And obviously, because of it being a special Jubilee this year, there's loads of magazines now coming out as well. So I was looking at all of this and I thought, do you know what, I haven't got a clue where I'm going to start. So I had to sit and just think it through a bit, because I want it to be about the history of Queen Elizabeth, from when she was born to the Platinum Jubilee. So what I've decided to do is the following. Now, as I say, this video might not appeal to everybody, because it does involve a little bit of work, the way in which I want to produce my journal, before I can even really start to work on it. And as I said, I've got loads of books, I've got loads of magazines, I've got the digital kits, and it's just too much for me to make a start and then just, you know, go forward with it all, especially as I want to do it in a chronological order. So what I've done is I've got this file folder and I've got some copy paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it into sections. Okay, so I'm going to fold this piece of paper in half, and I'm going to give it sort of a bit of a title, and then I'm going to collect pieces relating to the subject that I've got on each of the papers, and then store those in the file folder. And then it will stop me just keep searching through and through and through all those books and magazines and thinking, what the hell am I going to do? So I have made a bit of a note about what I want to do, and so I'll just write down the titles that I'm going to be sort of covering. Oh, hang on, let me put that there. Okay, I'll just write down the titles for you for now. So it's going to be her route to the throne. Okay, so each one of these will have each of these titles on, and then I can collate the information in each of these little sections. So that will be like about her grandparents, about George the Oh no, sorry. Edward the Eighth and Mrs. Simpson. Then about her mum and dad, and then about her and her sister. Okay. So that will be the route to the throne. So that will be number 1. Number 2 will be about her childhood. And that will go from like early days right the way through to teenage days. Then there will be her marriage to Philip. Okay, then there will be, what was next? Oh yeah, becoming queen and her coronation. Becoming queen stroke coronation. And unfortunately, when you're a royal, you have to wait for someone to pass away before you can become a queen or a king. So it's like Charles will have to wait for Elizabeth to die before he can become king. So it must be a real difficult time, actually, the coronation bit, because you're grieving about your parent passing, but you've also then got to learn all the responsibilities and take on all the responsibilities of being the queen and really get into the role like straight away. No time to, sit back and grieve. Then the next section I want to be about her children and maybe who they all married and stuff like that. Then I thought about her other jubilees, because obviously she's had a silver, she's had a golden, and go through those, plus any other significant stories. So significant stories. So, like, for instance, the passing of Diana and how that affected the family and stuff like that. Then there's obviously Philip has recently passed, her hubby, so there'll be a bit on Philip passing, and then there will be any other relevant bits and pieces. And I'm actually going to leave a space in the journal right at the very back of when Elizabeth passes. She's 90 odd years of age, and with the best will in the world, she can't live forever, so there will come a time when she will pass as well. And because of the length of her reign, I think it will be a very significant funeral and coverage of her passing. So I'd like to put in a bit about that as well. So then I've covered the whole of her life. So I will split each one of these into individual sections, and then I'll make sort of individual notes. So, for example, this one will be, in fact, let's use a pen. Let's call dead posh and use a pen. So this one will be about her route to the throne. And then I've got to go and do a little bit of study. So my study notes will then be, so there was George, and you can use this information yourself if you want, George V and Mary, who were her grandparents. And then there was Edward the Eighth and Mrs. Simpson, who became king, and then he abdicated, so that's her uncle. And then, so because he abdicated, her father, who was George, George the Sixth and his wife, also called Elizabeth. Elizabeth Bowes-Lyons, I think she was. Oh God, I can't even spell. Oh, it's a good job I've used my Frixion pen. Rub that bit out. Elizabeth. Who were her parents? Oh, I've done it again. Oh, I'm having difficulty spelling. I think I need a cup of coffee. Wake me up. Parents. And then there was herself. Elizabeth II and Margaret, who's her sister. Okay, so then what I can do is inside of here I'll ask Siri or I'll Google search when George was born and when he was king, when Edward was born and when he was king, when George was born and when he was king, when Elizabeth was born and when she was queen. So I'll make notes inside of there then about that information, and then I can store pictures, cuttings, whatever I want to use in my journal inside that, and then all of that can then sit in there and it just keeps it all together. And so that's what I'm going to do with each of these bits of paper, and then I'll go through her childhood, and then I can put all the books and all the magazines away, because otherwise I will just get swamped with all the information that I've got. So it works for my practical mind. So that was it really. I just wanted to come on to show you how I'm going to be planning mine, and it does mean that it becomes a little bit of a project because I have got to do a little bit of research on it, but I don't mind that because, as I say, I want this journal to be something to be kept and passed down, and you know, I don't want it to be just a collection of pictures and cuttings, but if that's what you want to do, that's absolutely fine. Now, as I say, in following videos, I will be showing how I'm going to be making some lovely embellishments for this. And in fact, I've got a great idea for the inside cover, which I always think is a hard one to start with, because you want it to sort of be quite interesting and intriguing when you first open your journal. And I've got 2 ideas for these 2 pages, so I hope that you will join me. As I say, I know that this is a little bit of a boring video, but some of you might find it excuse me, a little bit helpful. Okay, that was it, short and sweet. I'm off to go start creating and doing my research, and I'll see you all again really soon. Bye for now. Bye.